This is Talk Local to Me from the Central Virginia Business Coalition. Local stories, local business, local impact.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I'm Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
And I'm Mike Norfield with Visiting Angels of Lynchburg, America's Choice in Home Care. How are you today, Heather?
I'm great.
I'm wound up. I had Chick-fil-A on the way here, so here we go.
Well, good. I am not wound up because I am tired because my dog kept me up again last night. She's not feeling well. So, I'm dealing with a little sick puppy. So
that's not good.
She's not happy and she's not loving life. So I've been dealing with her. But everything else is great. So aside from puppy issues.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So had a great time at the Home Show and Health Expo on whatever the name of it is on Saturday.
It's a nice
Home
and Health Expo.
Long day. Home and Health Expo. Hey, there was home, there was health.
There was home and health.
Hi, my name's Mike. I work in home care, home and health.
Yeah.
So
it was a great event.
It was a great event. It was, it was kind of a wild day. At one point there was a dog loose.
There was a dog.
I won't talk about everything else, but
there was a lot of things.
The dog loose. The dog decided that the floor was grass. Let's just say that.
Sweet little puppy.
We had some deals with air conditioning, things like that, but it got sorted out. Had a great time with the lobster truck. That was good.
Yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah, and El Cabritos. Glad to see they were there. The plant guy was really nice.
The plant guy was great. I got plants.
Had a lot of great groups, and you know me, I hate a health fair.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
When you said, hey, let's do a health fair, I was like, no. I'm really glad we did it.
I was like, yes.
So it was,
doing it anyway.
We had some great information. We actually had a lot of people that reached out to us. And
you actually had to leave to go get more stuff.
I had to leave and go get more stuff. Which
was hilarious.
I haven't done an event like that where I had to set up a table and give out information about Visiting Angels, things like that. We gave away all of our old giveaways. We cleaned out our closet and was like, I'm taking it all and I'm not bringing it back. I brought home some pill caddy things. Those they're good forever. That's always a good thing to have. So, but yeah, I had to go. I put our actual service agreement on the table because it's in a big folder, and I was like, "Oh, that helps make the table look a little more full." We have a bunch of snacks and stuff, and we had people that were like, "Oh, I'm actually interested in this," and how do you sign up? And I'm like, "Oh, well, we have our service agreement and some information in this packet," and they were like, "Great." Well, we went through 8 of those in the first hour, and I'm like, "We are not going to have enough for the day." So with my office only being a half mile away, I abandoned my mother and said, "You stay here. I'll run and get that." Went and came back and brought them back, and we only had 6 at the end of the day. So we probably gave out 15 of those. So that's a I will never go to another show like that without taking that with me. Yeah. So because that was a very unexpected thing that people were interested in. So
yeah, for our second year hosting this event, it was for me, it exceeded my expectations for a second year event. I mean, we were steady from the moment
we had to change the location.
Yeah.
Right. From last year to this year.
Yeah, and actually the location for this year was great.
It was
EC
perfect.
Glass was wonderful. Having that big gym to host it, and moving forward, we've already spoke with them about continuing this event so that we don't have to keep bouncing around to different locations. They have a second gym that's usable as well, so we even have room to expand and grow the event, which is really cool. And we had steady traffic. I think our first little set of we have 2 little ladies. They showed up at 9:40, and they were like, "Can we go in yet?" And I said, "Sure, go on in." So they came a little early, but they kind of kicked us off. And then it was, I would say, until 2, it was steady influx of people walking through the door. Yeah. Now it wasn't like a mad rush. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bottleneck, but it was definitely.
It was worth my time on Saturday, right?
So, yeah, it wasn't something where you're just twiddling your thumbs for hours and staring at your vendor next to you, going, "Oh, this sucks. It's dead."
Yeah.
So we're still not to the point of Roanoke Home Show, Salem Home Show crowds, because of course they've been doing it for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. You got to build up to that. I always tell people, we run Centerfest, which has thousands of people, but I can guarantee you that didn't happen the very first year they hosted the event. You have to build, you have to keep going.
And people's level of dedication to these kind of shows kind of shocked me a little. Cause I walked in, set my table up, put my things on, put the tablecloth out, the runner, all that. And 10 minutes later, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk around and say hi to people, and then I'm gonna go. Right. There were people I thought people were building a house. They literally put up a whole wood frame, and all that stuff. There was the the new company that does like
Respectful
the
Solutions.
Respectful Solutions. Andy that does the tinted window.
Yeah.
Adam. Hey, I'm terrible with names.
It's okay. You were close.
I'm glad I got with an A. So Adam, and seeing what he does in the security things, like the very valid application for our clients and even for small businesses, because it doesn't. Like we have Ring cameras in our office, and you know how they are, like they'll catch motion, but you don't really catch what you want to catch. Like it's always like after the fact kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, it records like live all day, and it keeps it like on a drive in your office, and then you can still access it from the internet. And I was like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's a great thing for small business, because like I'm in my office alone a lot, and so making sure that like if something happens to me, there's proof, right? So that way we can solve the murder quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So
for me, it was a really good event. I got to talk to a lot of businesses, some that are members, some that are not.
Yeah,
and also I got my parents to come out there, which was great because they needed to talk to a lot of people in that room, both on the home and the health side, because they've had some stuff I've been trying to get them to fix at the home. And for those who have followed this show for a while, y'all have heard my dad's escapades with Craigslist and getting contractors that are ridiculous. So anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, so we were able to get him hooked up with a few things, and I know they're chatting with Allie and the Independent Lifestyles on potentially even getting a van, which is very needed. I know it's expensive, but it's needed. So anyway, but yeah, so that was great. I will mention we've got a lot going on in the next few weeks, but big event wise, our Women's Empower event, I really want to push this out to the community. If you have not signed up yet for this event, you need to do so. It is going to be so awesome. We have 6 fabulous speakers, 4 of which they've never spoken at Empower. So it's 4 brand new speakers. And the 5th one, she spoke before, but she only did like a quick 30-minute segment. So she's, I consider, relatively new.
Right.
So, lots of new content. Tickets are $99. But that includes your breakfast. So we have Nautical Bowls and Sweet Indulgence Bakery providing breakfast. It includes Spreads by Shonda doing charcuterie cups throughout the day for like your snacks. You have lunch being provided by Chick-fil-A. Everyone who registers by Friday and puts in their t-shirt information will get a free Empower t-shirt. We also have these really cool, we've done tote bags in the past, and I wanted to change it up this year. So this year we're actually doing the hanging travel cosmetic bags, the ones that kind of unroll. So each woman is going to get one of those, and then they're kind of filled with goodies. We have chapsticks and compact mirrors and just like little giveaways from other local businesses that are really cool. So that's all included with your $99 on top of the speakers and on top of just the networking and being a part of this event. It is a steal of a deal. I'm not kidding you. And it's one of my favorite events. So please register. Like I said, if you register by Friday, you get the free t-shirt. If you don't register if you register after Friday, you will not get a free t-shirt. It's simple as that, friends. So anyway, but it's going to be an awesome event. Really excited for that. And then the next bigger event that we have is our CVABC Open, which is our putt-putt tournament that we're hosting on May 5th. So for that, we encourage you guys to get together, come out and have a team. We have teams of 2 or teams of 4. It's from 3 to 8. So you can come after work. You can bring your kids. Your kids can be part of your team. Or, you can bring your staff together and do like team bonding or workshops and, professional development, whatever you want to do. We have opportunities for whole sponsorships. So if you want to get your name out there, it's $100 for a hole, $150 for a hole on both courses. And putt-putt's really great about the fact that at normal golf tournaments, it's up for the day, right? You're out there, you roll around for the day. For the putt-putt, for us, they keep it up for 2 weeks. So your name is out for 2 weeks. And so that's really cool. So really encourage people to get signed up for that. And we actually have a tournament aspect to it this year. So one course is actually going to be where we are counting your scores, and there will be there will be a team winner and there will be an individual winner.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. Anyway, so get registered for that. And you can get registered for everything at cvabc.org.
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 I'm just kidding. But let's get with our first guest.
Yes, we're
speaking of like home and health.
Very happy to have part of the kid team in here, the team leader, if you will. So, and I was just looking at your Facebook, like you got some cool things going on here. So, and you just got to go to Costa Rica to do some learning and things like that, right? So, if you're going to learn,
I want to go to Costa Rica to do some learning.
So, was the coffee as good as they said it is?
I actually don't drink coffee.
Oh.
So I couldn't tell you, but we did get a lot of coffee gifts. And if you are a close friend of mine, you got coffee when I got back.
So today I learned I'm not a close friend.
Same.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
just kidding.
Actually, yours is in the car.
So
I love
also
coffee.
note to myself, do a little more research before the show. Just kidding. No, but it's great. So you've kind of rebranded a little bit. We were talking earlier with Woody about your new logo. Love the new logo.
Yeah, same.
Right.
It's so nice. It's eye catching. It's bright. I love it.
And then you've been doing, so let's talk about the business side of it for just a second, right? So it's very hard when you start a local business and you're still kind of like, you've got that small business mentality, right? But you've got billboards up.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like huge. Like I got chill bumps just thinking about it. Like, and for me, it's a little different because we're a franchise. So like we get national advertising, things like that. So we got polished TV commercials. We were talking about that before the show too, things like that. But how exciting was it to see your billboard up?
It was exciting. So we actually started doing billboards about 2 years ago through CVABC. I got the digital, with my membership. So that was the first time. And it was really, cool. It was like, oh, yeah, I got a billboard. And then people did see it, and I've learned that it's really just about visibility,
Right.
just like they heard your name, but then they saw your name. And that's how I kind of look at marketing now. So this past annual enrollment period, we invested into some billboards and we're going to do it again.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think about, especially when you get to be 65, because you do a lot of Medicare, things like that. So you don't really think about it until you get there. And then you don't think about it till it's due. Right.
Exactly.
Kind of like taxes. They're due today, people, by the way. So a lot of people just don't think about it. And so like having that visibility out there is great. And then of course, having gotten some advice from you before in the past from my parents and things like that, knowing like that you are also like willing to take the time and talk to people and things like that. That's the part you don't see on the billboard, right?
That's exactly right.
It's the people behind the business. You do a tea time. So the our sister show over there. So tell me more about you guys. And you're located in on West Main in Bedford.
Yes. Yeah. So I started this in 2022, really, and I was just an independent agent, and I was doing in-home appointments. Just if somebody mentioned Medicare or insurance, I'm trying to get in their house and sit at their kitchen table. But it was great, and I loved it. And it's not that I love insurance. What's there to love about?
It's okay to love insurance. I love
Yeah.
healthcare. It's weird,
No,
but it's okay.
It is, but it's more about like the relationships,
Right.
and the people, and being someone that people can trust and count on. And so anyway, I loved it. And then I realized like, oh, this is going really well. And I just can't do it like by myself anymore. I need a place to sit down sometime.
Right.
And that's kind of how the office part grew. And then later the team.
Right. And
Yeah.
so you're now the kid team.
Yes.
Love it. Love all the pictures on Facebook too. Looks like y'all have some good times. So tell us kind of like what you help people with.
So we help people with health insurance, anything health that you can think of. So definitely Medicare is a big part of it. Somebody who's turning 65, but even if someone's not 65, if they're retiring, if they're losing Medicaid, losing employer coverage, going to be self-employed, those are all the kind of things that we help with. And any solution that can go beside those things like cancer and heart attack policies or hospital indemnity, like to pick up some copays and a copay protection.
Okay. So I know you guys have been going through like open enrollment for all that has been. When does that end? Has it ended yet? Because I know y'all have like a really busy season of like October through
December.
Okay.
Is Medicare annual enrollment.
Okay.
Marketplace open enrollment is November through January.
Okay.
And then there's another Medicare open enrollment that's not really advertised, but that's kind of going on from January to the end of March. So we're just taking a breath.
Just kind of getting out of it. It's kind of like same with like bookkeepers and stuff right now, trying to like today's in the tax times. They're like, oh, I can breathe a little bit starting tomorrow, maybe.
They're like, there's that Mike guy again.
Yeah. Well, I have had to deal like the past, I don't know, year or two with the whole Medicare, Medicaid situation and I still am dealing with it because my mother lost her Medicaid all of a sudden. It is a long story, but we still haven't been able to get it back and it's nuts. And I'm, weeding through all this paperwork and then we send it off and then they're like, oh, well, we didn't get it or, and I'm like, how did you not get it? We have sent it like, I don't know how many times. I have emailed it. I have mailed it. I have faxed it. I have,
it's a broken system.
It really is. And so why is it so important for someone to like maybe work with you guys to take that load off? Because it has been stressful.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we do is take the load off. We're there. We understand. We have a fax machine and, emails and things that some people don't have that daughter to help them. And we can also just be a bridge between somebody and the social worker or, with Medicare, Social Security, whoever they're dealing with. And then I think sometimes, and more than that, it's just knowing that they have somebody like a second set of eyes and hands on everything. We're going to notify them. We're going to get notified, and then we're going to notify them as things get processed or if there's any missing pieces. And like I said, that's more about just being somebody that they know that they can count on. Like government agencies, state and federal, they're just overwhelmed. They can't just hire someone like a small business. If I need help, I can hire somebody, and social workers and people in that role, they can't do that. They work for an agency, the government, and they're just overwhelmed. And so I know that they appreciate us too, like that we can just be that extra hand, and we appreciate them and all they're doing. So I think people just knowing like we have a staff, we can hire more people, that somebody's going to answer the phone, somebody's going to answer their questions. We have time to sit down and explain it and break down what all this means and why it's happening.
I like it. And you were kind of ahead of the game here because 2 hours ago on the Facebook page, the post is lost Medicaid coverage. Here are 3 important things to do next. So
I know. Well, the thing is I think my mom's was a whole different reason. She didn't turn in some paperwork in time. So they said, however, I turned it in. It's a long story and but then once it's gone, it's hard to get it back. Like it's really difficult.
There's so many pieces and legislation and different things that have changed around that and are changing like renewals. People did not have to renew their coverage during COVID. And so they just kind of got back to that. So for the first time after a, 4 or 5 year break, people are starting to have to do that renewal paperwork and it's getting lost. It's not showing up.
That's kind of what happened to us.
So we deal with the Veterans Administration a lot for our veteran clients. And so when they do authorizations for like 3 to 6 months, right? So when they're getting ready to run out, we had one that it ran out Tuesday. I got it Monday at 4:45 for the new authorization, right? And they're like, we're just so behind because we're overwhelmed. And it's like, they also just took the veteran authorizations, took from a year to 6 months. So they're having to do twice as much work with the same number of people. Well, also the team we deal with that work for the Veterans Administration, they're all new people, right? Because people moved or retired or just left because they were, tired of being burnt out, things like that. So, when you're dealing with any sort of government agency, a lot of times when they change something, the people who feel the brunt of it are the ones who are having to do the actual work. And there's just not enough hours in the day for them to get through what they need to get through. So especially when it's like a tidal wave of all of a sudden everybody's got to renew and here you go. So yeah, it's a mess.
So I know open enrollment just kind of ended, but tell us like, what are qualifying events? Like if someone is there a way if someone like this year still needs Medicare, do they have to wait until October or how does that work?
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe in some situations, but anybody who has changed their address, like a plan, they're moving out of the service area, even with Marketplace, like having a child, a marriage, lots of special enrollment periods. I mean, that's kind of our job, right? We work for the insurance companies. So if you come to us and you need insurance or you're having a problem with your insurance, that's what we do. We're the problem solvers. So we're going to look if a change is necessary, then we're going to really dig into like, what can we find? Can we find a special enrollment period? People who have full Medicaid and Medicare, they can change their plan more frequently. And we know the rules, right? So that's what we're going to do. And then people are always, like retiring, going on to Medicare, losing Medicaid, all of those other things.
I think another important thing, for people that are listening to know is, in having someone like Amanda or the KID team, any of her team that can help you guys, insurance, it's constantly changing. Things are always changing up. Like I know this year, like with Medicare, the deductibles or something changed and, my dad was like, no, I don't want to pay. And I was like, well, you're going to have to. So like, you're going to have to sit down and figure that out. But for some older individuals that have Medicare, change is hard, right? Change is difficult. And a lot of times they don't want to, they just don't even pay attention to it really. It's there, but so it's good to have someone that can come in and explain it to your loved ones or, even to yourself. And instead of you having to try and figure all that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it changes every year.
Right.
Every single year.
And it is. It's difficult. And my mom still won't stop talking about the fact that she used to have, I guess there was a card that you could go get groceries or something. And it went from so much a month. Now it's only a little bit every 2 months or 3 months or something. And I hear about it every week. And I'm like, Mom, get over it, man. It happened. Go get whatever you can get. And yeah, I don't know.
It is hard. And
it's
we're
a
hearing
lot.
that a lot too, because what we've seen is it has been a lot of legislation and different changes coming down the pipeline, and they have just tightened up on these plans, the funding that they're getting, and things just have changed. And people did lose a lot of benefits. They actually lost their whole plan. But we don't, we understand, we know that every little bit helps, in this economy, and we can just do the best we can. And I think people, once they understand why it changed, how it's changed, and like you said, it's just nothing we can do about it, then they're more willing to just accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. What is a common myth about Medicare?
I would say, there's tons of them, but something that I hear a lot is people are worried to death about penalties, and penalties are real. There are, people who have gotten penalized because they didn't elect to have drug coverage, and, when they could have had it, they should have had it and they didn't. There are situations when people get penalized, but not you don't have to sign up when you're 65. If you're working and your employer has over 20 employees or you're on your spouse's insurance and they're working and their employer has over 20 employees, you don't have to sign up for Medicare. So I think people are freaked out by that a lot. They've just heard a story about someone getting penalized and they're I just don't want to get penalized. And a lot of times we see people maybe they're 68 or 69 and they're working and they have their work insurance. They're paying for that and they're paying for Medicare Part B. And they've spent so much money, $202 a month right now, for all these years of just being overinsured, something they didn't need. And it's just because they were so scared they were going to get a penalty. So I would say, yeah, penalties are real, but not, it's good to just understand, when people come to me and they have really good work insurance, some people do, and it's really affordable and has a really low deductible and they're in really good health. We just have to say, it just makes sense if you're going to keep working to stay on your employer's, coverage. So I would just say sometimes being scared because you've heard of the penalty and different things, it puts people in a situation where they've really been overinsured and overspent.
Well, that's good to know, because not the penalty part, but I honestly thought you had to enroll at 65. So I just learned something new right there, because I would have thought oh, hey, I know that they encourage you not to take your Social Security early because once you take it, you're locked into whatever it is that you get.
And another myth that I would say, just since you brought that up, was people think that they have to take their Social Security to take Medicare, and you don't.
Right.
You don't have to have Social Security to be on Medicare. You can actually get by CMS for that.
Okay.
No,
That's really cool.
learn something new.
I know. That's why I tell you, that's why I love doing these shows, because I get to learn stuff, new things every day. So, so tell me, where, I know you mentioned you're on West Main, but where exactly are you located, and how can someone reach out to you if they're interested in, speaking to you more about their
Absolutely.
insurance?
So we just moved into a new space. We were on Bridge Street, at the Old People's Furniture. We moved just around the corner. So if you took a right on Main Street, you're going to Roanoke, right across from Peaks Motors, and our parking lot is beside the Peaks View Dental parking lot.
Right.
So it's a brick home. It's a ramp. You come up to the front, and we are the Kid Team. So we are kidteamins.com or 540-570-1213.
Awesome. Jinx, you owe me a Pepsi. No, I think that's great. And, even if you're not right now ready for Medicare or Medicaid, or, it's not something that you need, maybe it's something your parents need or are going to need, or, your family members.
Somebody.
Yeah. And we have lots of families and individuals too. I mean, Medicare is just so many people need help and are retiring and going on to that. But we do Virginia Marketplace. We can get plans off of the Virginia Marketplace, not based on a tax credit.
Okay.
And just anything health-ish. When you think health, think us.
Yes. Yeah. So let's just really quickly hone in on that. It's not just Medicare and Medicaid.
No.
And that's kind of what we started talking about at the beginning, but I don't want people to pigeonhole you into that.
Right.
We want to make sure, if you're looking for overall health insurance or health, healthcare through the marketplace, like Amanda and the kid team can, point you in the right direction or get you all set up with that. Because I think that's a scary thing to kind of look through as well and figure out what the best benefits are. And, looking at the deductibles and then looking at your out of pockets and all the things, it can be overwhelming.
When you're working, you just have one choice, right? What your employer offers. Or, maybe they have one or two choices, high deductible, low deductible, but you have a lot more choices than that when you're not on employer coverage. So our new logo is the Kid Team, your local help with health insurance.
I love it. Yeah. I may have to, Hunter gets kicked off our health insurance in June.
Yeah.
Call us.
I wonder if he's ready for that. He's probably not. He probably doesn't even remember, but he turns 26. So away he goes. But anyway,
To the dungeon
with him. But yeah. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. And so I ask every guest that comes on the show 2 questions. One is, how long have you been part of the Central Virginia Business Coalition?
Since early on when I started the business. I've only been doing this for, since 2022. I think I'd probably joined that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Amanda's been great because she started, as a member, and she is, now a sponsor. Well, she was a sponsor last year. She's upped her sponsor level this year. So, I mean, she's been very supportive and encouraging with our organization as well. So.
Okay. So I have two more questions.
Okay. Oh.
Or it's one question with a Medicare Part A and one with a Part B. So the first question is what I ask every guest, which is, what do you think is the greatest benefit of being a member of the CVABC?
I see so much value. I always say it's like a little social media mafia, they're tagging me and everything,
Right.
Which, it's just the relationships again, that I've made and just meeting people. And I use, that same mafia technique when I see a need or a service, right? I'm all over it too. So just having those people like to scratch your back and look out for you and, really promote you, I think that's huge. It's lots of value. Like I said, I've used the billboard, I've upped sponsorship. Like I see so much value.
And what do you think is the greatest benefit of being a sponsor for the CVABC?
I mean, there's definitely value in like the events. I can like sponsor an event and get my, name and my team out there. But I mean, it was more than just like what it could do for me being a sponsor. For me, it was like, I see the value and I love all these businesses and I just want to support you guys.
I like it.
And give back.
And I will say, and I'm just going to really quickly just talk about that. I was thinking about it yesterday about the building of the relationships. And I talk about that on the podcast quite a bit with why people should be a member of the Central Virginia Business Coalition. Like, why should your business be a part of what we do? And, I had a member come in. We're actually going to talk about that member in a minute because we're doing a benefit concert for her. But she stopped in yesterday and, she sat there and she talked and, we were talking about other businesses and just kind of laughing. And it was just like, I was thinking to myself, this is what it's all about. It's about not just the relationships we build with your business, but the people that are in the business too. But, I see online when people are asking for recommendations and you were talking about being tagged and things like that. I'll see people tag and I'm like, I don't know them. Like, it's about being comfortable with who you're actually sending people referrals to, because whether you know that person or not, if they're asking legitimately for a recommendation, they deserve to be handed somebody that's going to do a good job.
Absolutely.
And who you feel is, truly going to help them out. Because if you're just sending them just a random name or somebody you don't know, or you just don't, you're not helping them. And that's what our organization is all about. It's about helping the businesses, but also, like you said, helping the community as a whole. And again, I'm on my soapbox, but people say I don't talk enough about the CVABC and what we do. And I don't. I'm horrible about it. I'm the worst executive director of promoting my business ever. I'm horrible about it, but I'm just going to say that's what I do. I love it.
Like for me, it's like, it's not just sending you to somebody like you can buy your, kitchenware or whatever too. Like it's like the person that you see out there hustling and grinding, just like trying to build this business and get their name out there. And that, like you said, they're going to do a good job. They are eager and they're hungry and, you want to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show with us today. Everyone, if you need information, you want to talk to Amanda and the Kid team, give me one more time. How can they get a hold of you?
540-570-1213. You can email me at amanda@amandakit.com or just stop by 155 West Main Street.
Perfect. We are going to head to a commercial and we will be right back. Today's podcast is brought to you by Omega Disaster Restoration, located in Campbell County, Virginia. Omega specializes in water, fire, and smoke damage restoration, as well as mold remediation. Their region includes Central and Southwest Virginia, which spans a vast service area from Blacksburg to Charlottesville and Stanton to Danville.
In addition to disaster restoration and full-service reconstruction and remodeling, Omega is proud to offer custom all-wood cabinets through their Hanover Woodworking Studio, custom countertops via their Top Solution Studio, and dumpster services through Old Dominion Dumpsters, all part of the Omega family of brands. A beautiful showroom is currently under construction at their Exchange Drive location and will be soon open to the public, showcasing their diverse offerings.
Customers can call 434-616-4659 for emergency assistance with water, fire, smoke damage, or mold remediation needs. Omega provides 24/7 emergency response, ensuring that help is always available. Locally owned and not a franchise, Omega is your first and last call in any emergency, restoring your home or business from beginning to end. For more information about Omega Disaster Restoration and their comprehensive services, please visit omegadisasterrestoration.com/VA/Lynchburg.
Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Home Care, is now serving Lynchburg and the surrounding counties from their new location at 2201 Linghorn Road, providing our community with personal care services, including assistance with bathing, dressing, meal preparation, grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and much more. Our trained staff have to pass all of our requirements for a high standard of care, ensuring that you have a compassionate, kind, and qualified caregiver. Our office team works with you as a partner in providing care for you or your family member to make the task of starting and continuing care an easier process. At Visiting Angels, we understand that every individual is different. That's why our team of dedicated caregivers is committed to providing tailored assistance to make you happier and healthier at home. Call 434-439-4698 to learn more about our services and schedule a free in-home, no-obligation consultation. Trust Visiting Angels in Lynchburg to bring peace of mind to you and your loved ones.
Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Home Care.
We're jamming out live in the studio here today. Courtney and Sarah thought I was taking their picture. I was actually videoing them dancing to that, coming to a Facebook near you.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, it should, because it's great. So welcome to the second half of the show. Today we've got Love Heals as now. We'll wait while Sarah takes a picture. All right. So we have Sarah and Courtney from Love Heals with us today, here to talk about an upcoming event. Is that right?
Yeah. It's kind of hot, huh?
I mean, you know,
It's coming in hot.
we want to make sure we can hear everybody.
Well, also the equipment we normally use for us is not as good.
Yeah, here
It's
the
hot.
labels. The labels are the buttons are labeled because I was recently a guest
Oh,
on their
yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
Okay.
and not only were they were like, "Oh, hit the button here for applause," and it was like,
We just guessed.
so then it was like, well, let me keep hitting the button until I get the applause one right. And
It's a lot of
um,
noise.
I need
by
an
the-
applause button.
by the way, there is only one short king here today, so just gonna say that.
Rest in
And
peace, title.
I also became an animated character because the video for the last 2 minutes of the podcast cut out. So Sarah
you
just
see that?
drew a little
No.
stick figure. Oh, it's
You have-
classic.
I have to go look
It's
at
a
it.
really good episode.
That's
You should
pretty
listen to
funny.
the episode.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
um,
you said
It
you
is
caught Sheena listening to it.
I did. I walked in. I'm like, hey, I know that voice. And
Embarrassing.
she was listening to it while she was putting her desk together. So
Oh,
she said it was a good episode. So it was good. And I may have actually gone and watched another episode or two. So
we did it.
it's-
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome.
you got me. You got me. So
We're good.
yeah. So you're here to. So first of all, talk about like in a nutshell, what is Love Heals?
Me. Okay.
Yeah.
What is Love Heals?
What is it?
Nonprofit.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first answer.
You
got
should
it
say
right.
it. Don't ask.
Love Heals is a nonprofit.
No,
No,
it had a question mark. Is it?
is it a nonprofit? Not for long. No, just kidding. It is. No, we host benefit concerts and events to help people who are struggling with medical situations, and then monthly we host coffee for caregivers to help unpaid caregivers connect with each other.
I like that. I think that's the first time I've ever heard you say that, and you included both things.
I
So
include both things.
I'm a big fan of coffee for caregivers.
Mhm.
One, because it's in my office.
Yep.
The commute is great. I mean, I don't go, but it's great. But it's a great group of people. Like my mom goes to that because she was taking care of my dad and things like that. And we've talked about the benefits of like, being able to go and support others,
Mhm.
because a lot of times it's easier to do that than it is to get support for yourself, but then you
Mhm.
accidentally get support as well.
It's sneaky.
So it's
It's
sneaky like that.
Yeah.
So
We love sneaky help.
yeah, it's a great monthly event. So if you're taking care of someone of any age, or you're a caregiver and you're just feeling like nobody understands
Mhm.
what you're going through, come to that group. They may not have the same situation as you, but they can help you through it.
Yep.
And the other thing that you do is, so the tagline is kind of like, no one goes through hardship alone,
Mhm.
right?
No one should have to go through hardship alone.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that tagline.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. That's our vision. So nobody has to do that anymore.
So
Yeah.
how long have you guys been in your nonprofit? How long have y'all been a nonprofit and been providing
Officially
these
since
concerts?
2023, unofficially since 2021.
Incorporated in
Close.
2021.
Incorporated in
And
2023.
first event happened in 2018.
2018. Gotcha.
When did I jump into a lake?
So I did not.
2023.
Okay, I just
Oh,
remember doing
Completely
that.
unrelated. When did Heather jump into a lake?
I was like,
Pop quiz.
what does that have to do with anything we're talking about right now?
Who
But
has
you had an
followed Love Heals
event.
long enough.
I
to
do.
do
It
a
took
lake.
me a minute to
You had a
remember.
you, you had a very Courtney moment right there. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say,
So
with all love.
Every time I drive past that lake, I go, I
Yeah,
jumped
they
in
did the
that.
cold.
Yeah,
plunge.
you
It was
did.
2023.
It was a cold plunge, and like you could. Did you have to pay money and then you could jump in the lake? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, get donation.
you had to pay to jump in the lake. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think I
doesn't
was
wanna do
working
that?
that day.
You guys
It was
fell
super
for
fun, and my daughter and her best friend had the biggest kick out of that. Like they thought it was so funny.
Okay.
It was.
I
it
want
was
to do it
forgot
again.
One of
that.
Courtney's shoes is
my
still in
flip flops
that
are
lake.
there.
Yep.
They're in there.
They are.
Yep, my flip flops are
My
in.
one croc is with them.
There was
Yep.
mud in the bottom.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
The
Crocs-
second you stepped in, it went.
Because I was going to say like Crocs float. Like
No,
Yeah,
these things,
no.
it's like sucked your like you.
Mhm.
I'm
It was scary.
yeah.
It was another
Just there.
dimension at the bottom.
Crikey.
Like,
We should have
crikey.
tested it before we.
yeah, I mean.
We should have tested it.
So if you're listening and you've never heard of Love Heals before and have never met Courtney, what she just said is I should have tested it. Pretty much goes for a lot of things. So
Everything.
But the good
Um,
news is everyone signed liability waivers.
one of my
So-
favorite things about Love Heals is they're like, I think we can do this thing. Let's try to do this thing and let's see what happens.
I feel
Right?
like that's where
Pretty
Courtney
much.
and I are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, here's an event. Let's do it. Great. Okay. Let's.
Figure it out.
Whatever.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
And a couple of things have been fantastic. So like the at the core of Love Heals
Mhm.
is just to help people.
Yeah.
But the core of your events
Mhm.
for the longest time has been let's do a benefit concert for someone and be able to help them through their medical hardship.
Mhm.
So talking about that, let's talk about the 24th.
Yep.
Yes.
I hope I got the date right.
You got it.
Yes.
I'm the MC at that event, right?
If you
Yes.
still want
No,
it.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yes.
Like, because
Great.
I wasn't sure about the date, and I'm like, I should know because
We switched it a couple times because
Yeah, we
Lynchburg
moved it a
kept
bunch.
They were like, now we're doing an event. They were doing an all-day music festival on the 25th and then
Right.
the grand opening of the amphitheater on the 24th. And I was like, both
Yeah.
are competing. So
Yeah.
we just had to kind of pick which one we thought the
That's
audience
all right.
would overlap.
It's,
Mhm.
and so this is for Ashley. So I was asked the other day by 6 different people. Just kidding. It was just Rob and Sarah.
Oh,
Dang it.
Like to, what was the word?
Oh,
Describe Ashley
If you could describe
I
Ashley
had to
Beasley
do-
in one
yeah,
word.
I got
what
that
would it
same
be?
in one word.
Yes.
I did not, in fact, do it in one word. And
No, you and like one other person cheated.
I did
Gave
one
it,
word.
like, a couple.
Yeah.
Good job.
I am a
Thank you,
good
Heather.
follower of rules.
Yes, you
follower.
were.
And I did notice, so Rob sent me a text and also messaged me on Facebook, and he said, "Describe Courtney," and I mean,
Oh.
describe Ashley in one word, and I just said tall, and that's a whole Short King joke.
So it's really funny.
So I want to look up what I because I put some, unlike most things in my life, I actually put a lot of thought into this. No, it was Sarah. Gosh,
I texted it to you first.
You
and then I
did.
think I sent Rob on a mission shortly afterwards.
you did.
Yeah.
And so talk a little bit about the show that's coming up for Ashley.
Yeah, for Ashley. So it's April 24th at Mission House Coffee with local artist Christian
Quisenberry?
Quisenberry. Yes, I don't know how to say his
Good
last
job.
name.
Christian Q.
Christian Q. And then we have 2 local sporting artists. And we're helping to support Ashley through, she recently had to have surgery and they had to kind of go in and do some other things that they weren't initially expecting. So we're going to help
Mhm.
with that extra long recovery process that she's now having to go through. Yeah, you looked like you were going to say something.
Well, no, just like the core of all of our events is giving people a stage to share
Mhm.
their journey.
Mhm.
So we like to not control narratives. So
We effectively give someone a mic and then 7 to 10 minutes unfiltered. Share what you want. We don't screen it ahead of
Yeah.
time, which has yet to bite us. So there's always a chance, but I'm pretty sure that won't be Ashley. Yeah, so she'll be up there sharing her story from her words.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know when I saw the post come up looking for sponsors, I immediately was like, we should do this. Like the Central Virginia Business Coalition should title sponsor or presenting sponsor, whatever you want to call it, because, Ashley's been such an active participant and sponsor for us over the past couple of years. And she, donates pastries to events and she does things really without me ever having to ask. Like I
Right.
just mentioned, like,
She's
hey, I
almost
need
like,
this. And like, there's,
Take these
Pop-Tarts.
desserts.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Here are
I
the
want to
things.
give back. Take
And
this.
So I sent a quick message to Mike because he's on my board, and I was like, "Hey, we should do this." And I was kind of already like, I'd already messaged y'all. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this," but I felt like maybe I should send Mike this and say, "Hey, I think we should do this."
And Mike is also on our board. So
Yeah.
he said, hey, we're going to do this.
insider trading.
So I literally sent
God, we're like-
Courtney and Sarah a message was like, we need to figure out how to have two main sponsors.
Yeah.
And
Because
it
like they
worked.
both want to do it and they can do it. Like this
Yeah.
could be great.
Well, and that right there was awesome though, because when she called me and said, "Hey, we have another person that wants to do it," and I was like, "Well, who is it?" And it was Brown's Heating and Air,
Right.
and I
who
love
also
Brandon.
messaged me within 10 minutes. of
Yeah.
messaging me.
So, and I love Brandon and his team, and they're sponsors of ours too. It was just a perfect collaboration.
Yeah.
And again, that's what it's about: collaborating for the better good of someone else. How would it have been like if I'm like, no,
Right.
Ew.
And
No, thank you.
just
And I
just
also
me. Thanks
didn't
so
want to
much.
make it more confusing and be like, visiting angels would all, because like my first thought was like, what I thought, like, oh, I want to do that. Like, and I was like, oh, 3 would be confusing. So I think we did like the $50 thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that is, but we did something.
flyer socials.
Yeah, like-
typical.
Mhm.
Event
Yeah.
sponsor,
Yeah.
little,
Still
little
get it
event
on
sponsor,
stage, yeah.
Short
Like,
King
yeah.
event sponsor. That's
Short
right.
King events.
Short King
And
event.
Ashley said she hadn't really seen much on, like she had not been on social media. Not that she didn't see much, but she had
Right.
not been on social media.
Mhm.
So like she didn't even realize yesterday until I talked to her that we were sponsoring, or
Right.
so she said. So I said, we were, and Brandon was, and she was just like, "Oh my God, that's so awesome!" I
Yeah.
didn't think anyone would want to do it, and I was like,
it's gonna be
"I
a
think
big
you've got
show.
a bigger backing
Within,
than
like,
30
seconds after we posted that was when Mike told us that we
Yeah.
had like 2.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That's
2
what-
people
yeah.
instantly messaged me,
Mhm.
Ta-da.
and I was like, "What are you talking about? Like,
like,
what is this
hello?
thing they're talking about? Help me!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it was great.
Yeah.
But it just shows how quick. So we always ask people, like, the 2 questions at the end of the podcast, like,
Mhm.
what do you think is the greatest part of being part of the CVABC, right? And we always talk about the community, but it feels like that was a moment where like it
Mhm.
showed.
Hmm.
Like
Yep.
this isn't just something we talk about.
Mhm.
Like people really do support each other, right? So,
Mhm.
um,
And I already know some of our members who are attending once they
Right.
heard.
Yeah.
I unfortunately can't be there because we moved the date. If it had been Saturday, I'd have been there.
It was such a
I'm
toss
not
up.
a loser, man.
It really was.
My husband got me front row tickets to see the Gin Blossoms.
You should go.
What am I supposed to do with
I-
that? He
yeah,
knows that's
you
one of
should
my
go.
favorite bands.
Yeah.
So-
you should go.
I'll be in
Ashley
Bristol.
really
Fair
is
enough.
very supportive of me, and the Gin Blossoms will understand.
Yeah.
That's what you should say.
I'll send a message
I
to
was
the
just
Gin
gonna
Blossoms. Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's me.
You could have had front row seats
you
to
move-
Christian Q.
Your
Right.
concert to Saturday because I
Yeah.
need to be somewhere else.
That's fair.
Just saying,
It's okay. You
They
can
probably
still
have a
give
conflict.
to Ashley directly.
expecting your
So-
donation first.
I asked Megan to go and she was like, "I'm not speaking."
No, she's not.
I said, "You don't have to speak, honey.
It's
Just go."
all Mike.
However, I am emceeing, so I may be like, and next we have Megan,
She will die right there on the spot. Do
representing the
not.
CVABC in her seat right there, and just watch her.
She will fade into darkness.
She will stab me.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
guaranteed.
I would pay
So-
to
I
see
can
that.
see her face right now. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Just total fear
It
and
will- it will.
trepidation.
Yeah.
Well, she'll be like,
That's
I could-
hilarious.
I should do this little thing
you
with her
think
hands.
you think it's April 24th? It's really April 1st. So,
Ooh.
yeah, April Fools is all month, right? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
So
That would be tried.
we have the energy today. I fully expect anytime Love
Yes.
Heals and I get together. So.
Correct.
We're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you asked me about to explain her in to describe her in one word.
Mhm.
All right. So I am not a one word kind of person, right? So I was like, that's a lot of pressure. She said, okay, or like 3 words. I'm like, I could do 3 words. So I came up with my 3, and then I went to ChatGPT as I do, and I was like, here's like the cliff notes on Ashley.
Mhm.
Right. And then here's the words I came up with. Are there better words that say what I'm trying to say?
Mm.
And so I came up with resilient, empowering, and reborn.
Mhm.
All right. So resilient because she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Empowering because now that she has made it through that part of her journey,
Mhm.
she is determined to help other people that are going through that.
Mhm.
Or people that aren't and just have struggles in their life, whatever. She's always trying to lift people up,
Mhm.
always trying to, like, whenever there's an event for the CBA, she's like, I would like to donate things, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Mhm.
And then reborn. So, and that is because I may have mentioned about her logo is the cupcake with the phoenix coming out of it.
Mhm.
To see where she was, let's just say a year ago, because time has no meaning to me,
Sure.
a year ago, and where she is now, where she was like, she was ready to close the business,
Mhm.
right? She was ready to just go,
Mhm.
this isn't what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
But that is when your best growth comes.
Mm.
Right? Mushrooms only grow in the dark, right? So
I
heard that for the
that's
first time as it came out of my mouth.
new for me. Is
No,
it
they,
true?
They grow underground. Like that's where they start.
Okay.
We're gonna go with that.
I like it.
Doesn't
Um,
everything
I mean, that you're getting a little deep.
Courtney,
Oh.
Courtney, shut up.
literally
So-
deep?
The,
Enough.
the mushrooms are deep. But also reborn because she has reborn the business herself.
Mm.
You see a new confidence in her, things like that. And for her to even be able to go and have the surgery to go through that
Mhm.
and know that she wasn't constantly like, my business isn't going to make it while I'm gone.
Mhm.
Right. Not every business owner can say that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could go out for 6 weeks and like everything would keep going. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's, so to see that she's in a completely different place and she's reborn
Mhm.
and it's like the new Ashley. Right. And you can see it. And to see the support already that is coming out for her, I think her story is going to have a lot of impact.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to have a dual purpose of helping her not just feel support,
Mhm.
right? Or for people to say like, hey, if you need anything, I'm here. But for people to show up for her and show her that support. And for I know that she likes, see the Love Heals things. Like she likes the helping people, right?
Mhm.
She likes that Love Heals does that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't want to put words in her mouth. So I'm being careful how I phrase that, right? So,
Yeah.
But I think it's really going to help a lot more people connect with what Love Heals does, right? We just don't hold concerts and give people money,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna help connect the community behind this cause, and I think it's gonna help other people through that down the road, which is the great part about the storytellers and
Mhm.
the whole concept, right?
Yeah, that's been a consistent thing that we've seen at a good majority of our shows is at least one person from the audience is like, I was going through exactly that, and I've never heard someone
Right.
say it like that.
Right.
It gives you a glimpse on the other side of what that person was going through or is going through currently.
Right.
And it allows people to heal together. So I could see this as like a good ending, like a nice chapter close for Ashley's story,
Mhm.
A bookend.
but a chance to close it with people who are safe
Mhm.
and who
Yeah,
care
absolutely.
and who want to see
Right.
the next step of her thriving.
And
Mhm.
support. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes along with her logo, like you were saying.
It does.
Like,
Mhm.
and then
It
it's like
does.
you're rising from the ashes. That closes that chapter, and here we go.
So
We're rising.
the more you use ChatGPT, the more conversational it gets, and it kind of hit me because it's like it's just a robot. Like to me, it's a person out there. Whatever. There's a little short king out there typing back,
Yeah.
and
That's
it was
true.
like, wow, what an inspiring story. And I'm like, ChatGPT, what are you doing right now?
What are you talking about?
Right. Like so it's like, but it is. But you got that just from like the little tidbits I gave you. So
Mhm.
I just think it's fantastic. Ashley's great. She's great to work with. She's always supportive of even her. I think she likes the word co-opetition more than I do. And I'm the one that first said it on here.
Mm.
Even though I stole it from somebody else, but we won't talk about that.
So crazy, moment too that I'm just now realizing is that when we did our event in 2024, the one that you first came to
Mhm.
for Mary and Lonzo, Ashley hired Mary
Mm-hmm.
for a short period of time trying to help her work through her trauma and
Did
gave
not
her
know.
I
You did?
didn't actually really realize that
did
all that
Yeah,
kind of ties
I was thinking
together.
about that right now.
I
'Cause
got chills, and not because it's cold in here.
I went with Mary to. I've only met Ashley like twice, and I went with Mary to. Yeah, I went with Mary to just walk through the facility. And
Yeah.
honestly, like one of Mary's biggest fears was having Lonzo away from her. Like her son, he's
Right.
probably 5 now,
Mhm.
nonverbal autistic. Like she needs to know where he is, and the fact that Ashley has a play area designated for kids, like right in the space.
Mhm.
And he made a friend and
Yeah.
they were playing. Like it was hard for us to leave because he was having such a good time. And that was
Right.
really cool to see.
And from personal testimony of working with Ashley to support Mary on the back half of that show, because our goal was to get Mary from out of homelessness into stability. Ashley, like, it didn't work out that job worked for Mary because of her mental, just like she wasn't ready yet, and that's
Mhm.
okay. And
Right.
Ashley understood that,
Right.
and she just really had a lot of communication back with me to say, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm going to try to do. And there was never a moment I was worried that she was going to make the wrong choice for
And Ashley was never like, this was a terrible idea. Why
no,
did I do this?
never, never,
Right.
never. She understood why.
Yeah.
She understood how. She understood what was needed to happen. So it was a great partnership there. And now to be able to do this, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Mhm.
So
Right.
this is like what we do. We do this for strangers that we've never met
Yeah.
before.
Right. And
So-
I think that's what's going to have that's why I feel like a lot more people are going to connect with what Love Heals does after this. So Sheena and I came to the show for Mary. Can I out you and what you said when we were walking up? I'm going
Every
to.
time.
I'm going to. So yeah, so we parked downtown and like, you know, we were walking towards the show and Courtney's like, hey guys, how are you? Like, what are you doing downtown? Like, we're coming to the Love Heals event. She went, oh, like, because when you start
Such a surprise.
when you start something, like you don't always expect like everybody's gonna come support, right?
I
Yeah.
never expect people to come.
Right. And
Right.
that way you're not disappointed. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like a protective.
It's a very vulnerable
is.
situation to be
It
like,
is.
hey guys, hey person who's dealing with physical illness, we're going to put on an event for you so you don't feel alone. And then we have to just pray that people show up. So
Yeah.
otherwise what we're doing is just sealing
It is
that
scary,
lie.
Yeah.
It's really scary. It's scary to put yourself out there, but then we're like doing on behalf of somebody.
Mhm.
And it adds a layer of pressure that
Mhm.
is very not
Constant.
good.
right.
Yeah.
Not good.
And but it was so we go into the show and we're sitting down and Mary's sharing her story and I'm like I was a single dad for not for very long. Let's be clear, like not years and years, but like 6-7 months. I was a single parent and like I would not have made it without my support system. So I remember one of the first Love Heals board meetings I went to, and you were like, define hardship. And one of the people in our board meeting group was like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know what hardship really is because I've like never had that.
Mhm.
And knowing her story, it's like, how do you not know what like I would not be able to go through what you went through. And then she's like, yeah, like I had all these appliances in my house like die in the same day. And like people just came and like somebody brought a refrigerator, somebody brought a stove, somebody brought a dishwasher. And it was like the difference between hardship and it just getting through a temporary problem is the support.
Yeah.
And realizing that not everybody has the support that I had as a single dad, that other person had when all those things went wrong, and dealing with major health issues in their home, like traumatic health issues. Like to me, I could never imagine going through that, but like connecting with Mary's story and being like, if you know, it was only because of that support system that I'm even here,
Yeah.
right? I should not be running a business that's successful that allows me to come and do this podcast
Yeah.
every week. Like that shouldn't be a thing that allows me to come and work with Love Heals, that allows me to host events for Love Heals in my office. So,
Yeah.
because like they do a lot of meetings and things like that too, because I have a space, like come use it, like especially after we're closed, like
Yeah.
you're not bothering anybody but me.
Right.
So,
No.
no, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah, we're big on social capital. It's
Yeah.
if you can throw money at people, but that won't solve the issue
Right.
forever. And we want to bless people with money. That's not
Right.
the point. But if all we do is throw money at their problem and don't actually care to get people involved in their story, then I mean the issue can just stay cyclical. So how
Right.
do we build relational and social
Money runs out.
and
but
also
people
if you
hopefully are
don't
lasting.
know,
Yeah.
if you don't know anything about Love Heals and you're thinking, you know, you heard me jokingly say like we throw concerts and then we give money to people. It's not just like, here's a check. It's like, let us help you pay bills that might need getting caught up. Let's help us find you somewhere to live. Like it is so much more than just the show, right? It's here's a little bit of education about how to handle finances a little better, or here's someone we can get you in touch with that you can teach you more about financials,
Yeah.
that can help you find a job and help you like, how do you navigate that job interview, right? How do you be like, I haven't worked in 2 years because I've had all these issues in my life that have prevented me from working, whether it's health situation, homelessness,
Mhm.
whatever,
Mhm.
and kind of like get back on track. Right.
Yeah,
So
we're really trying to expand, especially this year, our collaborative network
Mhm.
of nonprofits that we're partnered with. Like we have some
Yeah.
things in the work with Parkview Missions,
Yeah.
and like because we have this relationship that's growing with them, when we have people who need, resume training or interview training, like
they
we can
have
just
that.
be like, hey, we have someone we can send you to.
Yeah.
Because it's we never want to reinvent the wheel. We just want to connect the people to the things that already exist.
Right. Because
Yeah.
like someone who is very plugged in to the community and very, knows how to Google, has the access to be able to the internet and computers to be able to Google, all that sort of thing. Anybody who has like high level of being able to search for those things still doesn't know about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody doesn't have those things, then how are they finding out about it? Right.
Yeah.
They're asking Uncle Bob,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
who just built a deck
Uncle
on
Bob.
somebody's house and it fell off.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
we talk
don't
about
ask
Uncle Bob
him.
on the show a lot.
Yeah.
When they're just relying on the resources that they have available to them,
Mm-hmm.
their connections, like they don't have that, but being able to make those connections for people is just, I think it's the biggest part of the puzzle.
Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
100%.
So
Awkward silence.
I was like,
I know,
I've talked
it's
a lot. Let me take a little break.
Cricket noise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what do
that
you,
was good.
I'm going to steal you stole a question from Tea Time. So I'm going to ask
Did
that
I?
question now.
Oh,
You
I did. I did.
You did. Because I looked at you like,
Still miss.
I just told her she should be on Tea Time.
Well, I know, but I did it because I saw it on her Facebook page.
I want to see what the captions do for this.
Heather and Mike.
What do you think the biggest myth
Jabber.
about? What do you think the biggest myth about Love Heals is?
Hmm.
What do people constantly go like, "Oh, that's not how I thought it worked"? Do you ever have that?
I would say one thing, and then you can say whatever you think it might be. But one thing, so this year we've launched something that we're calling like the Love Heals Community Fund.
Uh-huh.
So the point of this is we're hosting our version of Tiny Desk shows once a month in Lynchburg, same spot, Nimble Merch downtown, rotating artists that are local, and then rotating storytellers who have made it out of
Yeah.
hardship and they're on the other side and they're sharing their story. And then we're taking $5 at the door and we're putting it into a fund and we're building that up. So when needs come to us, we can help quicker than putting on a show. Because putting on a show for people will get a lot of people who are like
I need now.
dying of cancer.
Right.
And we have
Literally
to say,
happened.
we have to say, can you wait for 3 months while we look at a calendar and find an artist and see if we can get sponsors and
And-
book and all the things?
And at the beginning, it was very much like, let's rush and do the show. So like it was like, and there were some awesome events that happened, but
Yeah.
they were hard.
Well, and it's hard to, going back to like, we want people in the room. It's hard to promote and get all the things out to get all the people in that amount of time. So I think one of the bigger myths that we're trying to squash and get ahead of and be like proactive instead of reactive is that we don't just throw together a show like magic.
Right.
It's hard
It's a-
and it's
yeah.
constant, and we always have people in the pipeline that we're trying to help. So the point of the fund is to be able to address those needs more directly and
Mhm.
efficiently. But yeah, when people come to us and they need help, we have to figure out 86 moving pieces. It's not just like, oh, Love Heals, we'll just put on a show. So
Yeah.
that's one that I think we're trying to navigate better.
And it's
Totally agree.
it's either doing it that way
Mhm.
or you've got to plan a show and then like who can we get to be the storyteller?
Yeah, which
And-
is
which is
happened before.
doubly as hard,
Yeah.
right? Like because you've got to, it's difficult.
It's a weird puzzle that we're constantly playing around
It's
with.
like a Rubik's Cube.
And, so our hope this year is to find more. Lynchburg's a weird place for us, Richmond's doing really well.
Right.
They understand
Mhm.
mutual aid. They understand the creative arts, and Richmond is kind of self-sustaining. We don't do much except for plug events into this network that just exists. But in Lynchburg, trying to drive foot traffic places is really tough.
It's a hard concept. And I've told you, I don't know how many times, like if you can figure out how to do this here,
You can do it anywhere.
you can take it and you can multiply it anywhere. Because
Yeah.
like Lynchburg is like people tend to micromanage their schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, they go from here to another appointment.
Mhm.
People are quite big in Lynchburg on work-life balance in a very specific way, I think, than maybe some other cities that we've been in.
Probably another myth is that, just to I guess, I don't know if it's a myth, but to clarify, we don't just write blank checks to someone and send
Right.
it off. So we become not only event planners, promoters, booking agents, creatives, like all the things to make an event happen, but we also have to
Partner. You have to partner.
we have to partner with the person to create a payout plan. So we say, what are your needs and how are we going to pay them out? And here's what we will pay and here's what we can't pay. And then I have to call. And then a lot of the times that turns into advocacy. There's a woman I've been working with for 2 months now who's got severe lymphedema and hasn't been able to leave her bed because of each of her legs weighs about 200 pounds. I could do an event for her. She can't come to it. We'd have to have someone else be her advocate, but she can't come because she can't get out of her bed. But at the same time, if we just make money for her rent, all we do is kick the can down the road. So we've been working to find in-home wound care, but then it's a whole insurance issue. And then we have mental crisis going on
So
as well.
we have talked about this some, and like finding a company that will come to the home that would deal with lymphedema is hard.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Right?
So some
Like,
of
I
my
was
time spent calling a bunch of people trying to talk to them to figure out a solution.
Because you reached out to me and I was like, oh, I got somebody for this. Like I just talked to them earlier today and somebody, and they were like, yeah, we can't do that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It makes you aware. So yeah, we're not just like throwing shows. We're also advocating behind the scenes and creating, like for some people it's easy. And for some people we're creating these full rings of support
Right.
around.
Yeah.
Like some people need incontinence supplies while we're in the process. So we partner with local churches to maybe get that. Some people need groceries. Some people need paper towels. So there's all these behind the scenes things we're doing to
and then
make things happen.
And then once we get the funds for that person, Courtney actually pays it out to the doctor
To who,
or
to who it's owed
to
to.
whoever it's owed
Yeah, to the
or-
individual.
yeah, not so we don't just give people money. Courtney goes on the back end and does all of that stuff.
I thought you just went like to a concert once a week and that's all you did.
Yeah, then we just go
No.
home. I
No.
sleep like a baby.
It's
So,
easy. It's really easy.
Get
Actually.
early,
I think
put the
that's
feet
the
up.
biggest myth in every business that like there was a TikTok the other day and they were like, nobody sees the the late hours. You come in like a half day one day and like they're like, oh, it must be nice to have a flexible schedule. Like
That's the
Logan and I were
craziest thing
talking
for
about that
me.
the other day. Like, yeah, like yeah, I have a flexible schedule. That's why I'm there till 8:00 at night, right? Like my flexible schedule means I work all the time. It means I have to work whenever I can.
Nights and weekends and days.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like just this past weekend, it was like, because Monday I was working, but I took a couple hours and took my grandbaby to the park, and like somebody called me, and I was like, "Hey, I'll call you back," and somebody jokingly was like, "Oh, you're not at work," and I was like, "Dude,
Disney.
I worked." Yeah. But I was like, Friday I worked until almost 7:00, and then I had to work all day Saturday. I was there. I pulled up at EC Glass at 6:30 in the morning, and I was there until almost 6:00 at night.
Going back to high school.
So like, yeah. But like people don't see that. They think my job's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and that's when I'm there.
Like,
and
oh, you drive around to all these marketing events, like
They don't
networking events.
see all the stuff that I do on the side. So like, Lord forbid I take a day or I take a week vacation.
I recently bought
Which you should.
a secondhand couch for my office, right? Well, I hadn't sat on it yet. So yesterday, like I finished like a bunch of tech stuff and like a lot of heavy numbers thing. I was like, I just need to sit in a different chair. So I sat on my couch for like 5 minutes and was like scrolling TikTok. And one of my employees walked in my office. She goes, "You can't take a break." And she was joking. Like she also owns a business. So like we have lots of conversations about like nobody knows the work, right? And she laughed and she goes, "I'm just messing with." I'm like, I know. I was like, but I figured like I have this couch, I might sit on it. Like, and but it was just very much like I know she was joking and like I'm good with it, but like it was also like a reality of like it looks like I'm just sitting in my office on the couch, just chilling out, playing on my phone.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a tough balance.
I was there at 7:00, like in the morning.
Right.
I don't like mornings.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, fair. It's a lot I mean, and the health industry, it's like a lot of emotional stuff too.
Yeah.
Dealing with like,
Yeah.
I mean, tragedy after tragedy,
Yeah.
but we want to absorb the harder parts so that people can find access points to solve issues.
And it's hard, but it's not as personal because it's not yours. Right. So you're doing, that's something that you can do for somebody. And when you do get them to write off that $30, that why can't you just pay it? Well, why can't you just write it off? When you do get that, it's like, I did something today.
Solutions.
Yeah.
Right. It might have been a $30 solution, but like those little, I heard my wife say yesterday that she likes to celebrate little victories because they add up to big victories. I have a different outlook. I say I love small problems because I can deal with small problems, because if you don't deal with them when they're small, they turn into big problems.
So,
We have I've
Both are
got to
true.
also switch my little wins are important too.
Well, that's
So-
like celebrating little moments because which we talk about a lot. Like big moments, you wait for these big, like life changing moments,
big reveal.
blah blah blah. Yeah,
Right.
but then you miss all of the little
Your
day-to-day
life.
moments that make up your entire life.
Yeah.
Like you're missing it.
I got
holding
to
your
eat
breath
lunch
for something.
on time, and it was hot
There you
That
go.
is a win.
today.
That's
Like,
a small problem.
That's a win. I didn't get lunch yesterday. I forgot to eat. So it's
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Don't miss your life weight holding your breath for the big stuff.
So what's the best way for people to find out more about Love Heals? Number 1, come to a show. Number 2, where can they find information about that show?
Go to weareloveheals.org and click on our events tab. We also have merch on there. Go buy some merch and support the mission. And then we also have a podcast. It is called the Love Heals Podcast. And we have a new
Ooh.
episode going out tomorrow.
I love the
Yeah,
creativity.
I know. I stayed up all night.
Paused for that. She was like, "It's
Yeah.
called."
The Love Heals Podcast. Yeah, really easy to find, hopefully. New episode coming out tomorrow with Kathleen Davis. We're really excited about it.
Excited
It's
to
a good
see that.
one. Yeah, it's very
gonna be
funny.
very funny.
So good.
Yeah.
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 Yes, anything? Socials.
Just socials is Instagram, Love Heals Official. Facebook is Love Heals. And then we have a YouTube channel where we also put all the podcast episodes and videos out. And this Friday we have an event at
You
Nipple
can-
Merch.
You can also watch the podcast on Spotify.
You can
Yes,
watch
They're
it on
video
Spotify.
because that's where I went and found it.
Yeah. did it.
Because I could
Started putting
follow it
video on
there. And
Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so follow along because we have interviews with all. We just did
if you want to see
Anderson.
Sarah's animation skills,
Yes.
watch my
It
entire
was actually
episode.
Leo. Oh, it was you.
I made it.
was
And then
you, and
Liam
then Liam
cut.
edited it.
Yeah, don't take
Perfect.
it.
Sorry.
Take this away
I won't
from me.
take
It's
it.
all I have.
No.
I'm still waiting on my
That's all I
t-shirt.
have.
Just saying.
It's a note for me.
If you could
Just do
send me the art for that, I'll get the t-shirt made.
Yes, done.
Hopefully by Friday. So we talked about how to reach out to you, things like that, website.
Mhm.
So 2 questions we ask every podcast guest. How long have you been part of the CVABC?
2023.
Okay.
When I jumped in the lake. I'm just kidding.
When she jumped in the lake.
Yes,
But yes,
actually.
around that time.
That I thought was a totally random comment today. That was
I understood immediately.
What?
Took me like 2
I
seconds.
knew.
Yeah.
I knew.
And what do you think is the greatest benefit of being part of the Central Virginia Business Coalition?
People care.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Maybe for us, it doesn't always translate to all the members of the CVABC are at every event, but I know that they're watching because they tell me, and I know that they're seeing what's going on and that they're asking questions and they're actually curious. It's not that you have to go to some big corporate meeting and dress up to impress because I hate that stuff. And I
We don't
think
really do that.
no, I think it's more important that you
I don't do
live
that.
it
Have
than
I don't mean this to be insulting at all, because somebody listening might think this is. Have I ever seen you dressed up?
no.
I didn't
Probably
think so.
not. No.
Like I don't like. I want to say like more like business casual stuff, but never like dressed up.
No.
We're gonna do instead of RuPaul's Drag Race, we're just gonna do Courtney's runway
I'll do
walk or
like
something.
all.
We're gonna
like,
raise money to put her
I'll
in
be
like
a gala.
a fancy dress, full makeup,
This is
eyelashes,
exciting.
the
It'll
whole
be great.
9 yards.
It'll be great.
wait.
I can do it. I just kind of bucked against it because I feel
No.
like people like to look
Right.
at the outside, and I just think that that's
But
so
you're-
annoying.
You are authentically you,
Yeah.
and don't ever apologize for that. However,
And no one has an issue with it.
no,
Not
no.
with
There's
Mhm.
it's
not
never
with
been
the
an issue.
CVABC because it's
Yeah.
authentic.
Right.
That's what I like. I mean,
Ta-da.
you rarely see me dressed up. I dress up for annual dinner.
Uh-huh.
And I'm somewhat dressy for Empower, but I've actually stopped. I mean, more than that, I'm usually in my Empower t-shirt or just something
Right.
crazy
Is
there.
that why
So
you make t-shirts for that? So that you can just
yeah, so then I don't have to wear a
Right.
dress.
I like
hate
it.
dresses.
Yeah.
I hate dresses. I
Me
don't like
too.
heels. I hate pantyhose. Good God, whoever
100%.
invented those. I don't
Last
stand
time-
it.
Get them.
Last time I wore pantyhose and a dress, it wouldn't.
No.
You had
I
to
don't
jump
like
in a
any
lake.
of it.
Yeah, you had to jump in a lake.
So
with
yeah,
I
it's
did jump
very
in them.
rare you catch me in a dress. Although I have a closet full of them, and my
Me too.
husband is like,
I'm
"Why?"
just kidding.
If you want
Like,
to see
I
me
don't
in a
know.
dress, invite
They're
me to your
nice.
wedding.
Yeah.
That's
There you
it.
go. I do
Invite
dress
me
up
to
for
your wedding.
weddings.
I'd love to
Yeah.
dress up for a wedding.
I dress up
That's
for
about it.
weddings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who can we get married so that we can see them dressed up?
Huh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'll have to think on that one.
Hmm.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Just
Hmm.
Should we just
spin the
pick
bottle.
random people? Spin the bottle is crazy. At this table? That doesn't
No.
make any sense.
We can't do that.
I know that'd be insane.
We could do like a stranger photo shoot, but we could leave like, hey, instead of a stranger
Yeah.
photo
It's a
shoot,
wedding.
you're getting married today.
Today's
just
the
so
day.
I can wear a black dress in the back.
I mean, there are less believable things on TV. I'm just saying.
That's
So-
true.
And we
like
call in Vows by Vanessa. We get Jennifer there with our photography.
this
Yeah,
is
we could pull
a
it all together.
great
Like,
idea,
There we go.
actually.
boom.
We have everything we
like,
need.
We sneaky get 2 people married, and we'll make it a Love Heals fundraiser.
Yeah.
You have
She
to
said
pay
we-
us to
We
get married.
We sneaky get 2 people married.
Emma,
That'd be
the producer.
Oh.
You're getting married next week, just to let you know. You'll find out who
She's
it is
like
the day
negative.
of.
Congratulations.
I don't have to
break
pay
it
for it,
too.
right?
Right.
No,
It'll all be taken care of.
Completely paid for.
That's fine with me. I'll tell my boyfriend.
Okay.
He's got plans.
Yeah,
It might not be him.
We got
It
plans.
might not be him. It's going to be a stranger.
Yeah, you don't get to pick. That's,
You'll get to pick.
I kind of like my boyfriend though.
no,
That's a good thing.
that's a bummer.
No, yeah, it's gonna have
Yeah.
to be a
You can
miss.
invite him,
Sayonara,
though.
David.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
So
See ya.
now that this
We should
podcast
throw
is
Hunter in
completely
this. I'll
derailed.
be like, hey,
Oh, we could get Hunter married.
yeah, here we go. No, no.
Oh,
She said,
I gotta know who the person is. Hold
fair.
on.
I can't
Fair
blame you for that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
All right.
Have we derailed enough?
I think
Yeah, we have. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Talk Local to Me today. If you have want to learn more about our guest today, about the show that's coming up on the 24th, you can go to cbabc.org. And I just stole Mike's. You weren't here last week, so I had to do it all by myself.
What are you gonna say?
Can I do
I'm so
it?
nervous.
So if you wanna learn more about the chaos that is Love Heals, that helps people through hardship and in spite of it, let's just go ahead and go to weareloveheals.org. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
week.
guys.
We'll see you next Wednesday.
Bow, bow.